Now, it is Catholic Schools Week, an annual celebration of the positive principles of a Catholic ethos in the classroom. But does religion still have a part to play in state-funded education? We're joined by Justin Brown, Deputy Principal of Coláiste Íosagáin in Portarlington, and Michael Nugent, Chair of Atheist Ireland. Justin, to you first. You wrote a really impassioned defence of the Catholic ethos in education in the Irish Mail on Sunday last weekend. Do you feel religious schools have come under unfair attack in recent years?
No, not at all, Shane. No, I was more passionate, I suppose, and I'm speaking from my experience at my own school, that the good work that we do, and I'm very proud of our ethos and how inclusive it is. And that's where I was coming from. That's what Catholic Schools Week for me is something that we celebrated.
Okay, Michael Nugent, how about that? Something to be celebrated, the great work that Catholic schools do?
Well, the problem isn't Catholic schools per se. The problem is that they represent 90% of primary schools, and they have permission within the law through exemptions in our Equalities Act to discriminate on the grounds of religion against children, against parents and against teachers. So they're not inclusive, they're not welcoming. If they wanted to be welcoming and inclusive, they could start by respecting the constitutional right of children from atheist and minority faith families to not attend religious instruction classes. But not only do they refuse to do that, they're intensifying their lack of respect for minorities this week by hosting a week that's clearly aimed at faith formation for children from Catholic families and evangelising Catholicism to children from atheist and minority faith families.
Okay, how about that, Justin Brown? You're evangelising Catholicism?
But I'm not sure what school Michael are talking about. At my own school, as I said, I would be horrified if I thought that a student felt like excluded on the grounds of faith of a staff member. Catholic schools, to me, are about openness, diversity, inclusivity. This thing of excluding pupils, there's Admissions to Schools Act 2018 actually that prohibits that. You can't exclude a student on the grounds of religion. I see two parts to Catholic schools, acknowledging the huge work that the stakeholders do, and secondly, celebrating the good work that Catholic schools do. If another school wants to hold a week to recognise their diversity, that's fair enough. I would support that. I'm not, in what we do in our right, we're not saying no one else should do it.
Michael, what do you think?
But the problem is that you're the only school in the locality. Well, I don't know if you are, but certainly for many schools, it's the only school in the locality. So it's not as if families from non-Catholic backgrounds have another alternative. They have to send their children to that school, and therefore that school, given that it's funded by the state, shouldn't be promoting either religion or atheism. I would be just as opposed to an atheist schools week in schools that are funded by the state.
Okay, Michael, I suppose in my own case, we are the only school in the town, but whose fault is that? So therefore, parents do not have a choice.
So that is the problem. So therefore, what you should do at a minimum, if you're put in a position where you're in charge of that type of school, is not promote Catholicism through the school, but instead promote Catholicism through the parish.
No. The Catholic school, by its nature, it's a tree-stool, parish, home and community. That's the first thing. Second thing, so what are you saying? We shouldn't promote our ethos as a Catholic school, because why?
First of all, because you're state funded, so you're not. It's not just the Catholic Church.
Every school is state funded. Every school is state funded, not just us.
But secondly, because you're the only school in the locality, that means that children who are not of a Catholic background have no choice other than to go to that school. And if I'll ask you this way, I'll put it to you this way: if hypothetically, and I'm not suggesting that we want this because we don't, but if hypothetically the only school in the locality was a school that explicitly taught children that there was no God, then Catholic parents would be rightly upset about that, and they would say that's not the role of the only local school to tell our children that there's no God. And the same applies from our perspective.
Yeah, but on the basis, Michael, that we welcome students, and all Catholic schools should and do welcome students of all faiths and none. That's the whole point of a Catholic school. Diversity,
but when you say welcome, what you mean by welcome is welcome them into Catholicism.
Justin, I'm going to let you respond to that and give you the last word.
Well, I would hope that if parents do not want to send their child to the school, they would not send the child to the school. Now, parental choice is a huge thing here.
But there's no parental choice because there's only one school in the area.
Yeah, but whose fault is that, Michael? That's the first thing. Second thing, I would think, the fact that there's no school in our second school in our area, to me, reads that the parents are very happy with the school that exists in the town. They'd not have a problem with the school.
No, you can't just start a school. Parents can't be expected to literally build a school and start a school. That's not how real life works.
Okay. Shane, I respond to that just again from...
Okay, very briefly, because we are out of time.
Okay, and the Department of Education in 2011 established a new school establishments group, which is based on the whole point. When the department identifies a need for a school in an area, it's based on parental choice and parental preference. There was 4 new post-primary schools opened, announced last September, October. Of those 4, 1 was Catholic. So therefore, in that area, which is Ballincollig in Cork, there was 687 preferences expressed by parents, 503 expressed a preference for a Catholic school. Similarly, in Gorey, although An Educate Together was announced as the patron, they got 260 preferences. The Catholic school got 188. So there is a desire for Catholic education out there.
Okay, all right. Let Michael just, as a very last word, come back on that. Michael, what you're saying in theory is fine, but in practice, people are quite happy with Catholic schools.
Well, they're not. Even that report suggested that 20% of parents were not satisfied. And if you look, this is a fairly simplistic overlap, but 20% is roughly the equivalent of families that are not Roman Catholic in the country. So you cannot have pluralism in education by having multiple schools with multiple ethos in every area, because you literally can't have enough schools in each area to do that. So the only way to be fair to everybody is to have state-funded schools that don't promote either religion or atheism, and then let people spread their beliefs through their parishes rather than through the schools.
Okay, we will have to leave it there. Michael Nugent, Chair of Atheist Ireland, Justin Brown, Deputy Principal of Coláiste Íosagáin in Portarlington. Thanks to both of you for joining us.